Hello and welcome to my channel. Today we have a question from Oliver, and I can tell you it's pretty cold here in Germany again. Wow! Okay, Oliver's question. Watched a few of your videos for some days now. I pretty much appreciate the things you said about the wording. I'm not in your state of consciousness or enlightened or whatever, but I know people who are. I must admit that these esoterical wordings you often hear of them make me even more doubtful about the whole thing, and I sometimes wonder if it is all real, or if there is such thing as a spiritual ego that is even more powerful and leads down some wrong path also. At least I find it hard to differ who is really self-realized and who is just living a lifestyle. Thank you. Yeah, where do we start, Oliver? Oliver, where do we start? I named my son Oliver as well. So, well, in my case, sometimes people, I already had a question where I was asked, can you tell me now how you deal with the world? How is it? And there is actually nothing different. The difference is that I feel peace. I feel at peace. I'm very peaceful. There is a peace underlying everything, and out of that peace there arises happiness. My teacher used to say, without meditation there is no peace, and without peace there is no happiness. And I can confirm now that that this is true. Okay. We live in very modern times. Modern in the sense that we have everything we want right now, and mostly only by a push of a button. It was not always that way. So, for example, when people were looking for a teacher, they sometimes traveled the whole world. And our oldest traditions, they come from Asia and the Indian Tibet region. So it was natural for a lot of people to go and look there for wisdom and look for teachers. And maybe you found a teacher on your travels, and maybe not, you know. And if you found one, then you were really, really lucky. If the teacher decides to teach you, and then you follow the teachings, and maybe you get self-realized, and maybe not. It's up to you then, you know. And today, in our information age, like I said, we have information about everyone and everything. And naturally, today more than ever, like people sprout like mushrooms and claim they are teachers. Or say, I'm a spiritual person. That thing with the spiritual person, again, is a modern thing. It is very popular today to be spiritual. Okay, so everybody says I'm spiritual, or I want to be spiritual. I can give you my definition of spirituality, which is to know your true self. That's it. Or if you want to get more fancy, to always be your true self at all times. It doesn't get fancier than that, you know. In my case, this is not a lifestyle that I'm living, because my lifestyle is a very, very simple one, very ordinary one. I have a family, and that's it. I don't talk to anybody about spirituality apart of YouTube, and I do these videos because of people who are interested in that subject matter. But when I started to get into spirituality, and somehow I was born into it, but I was also blessed and lucky to have a real guru. He studied with yogis in the Himalaya, and I'm very grateful that I could learn yoga from him. I never talked to anybody about this my whole life. All my friends during my studies, nothing. I was a normal dude like everybody else, studying, having fun, parties, this and that. And in the meantime, I was doing my practice, not talking to anybody about spiritual stuff. I never wanted to be a teacher. I am not a teacher. I am that, what I am. What I'm doing here on YouTube is I'm pointing, I'm sharing that which kind of wants to be shared, if I can put it in that words. I never thought about this in my life. I was looking for truth. I had a teacher. This helped a lot. At some point he died. I was on my own. Again, I did not talk to people about it, kept my mouth shut, and there were often times on this journey, on this spiritual way, and a lot of people have that, when they have like glimpses or insights, and then you feel like kind of high. You're like, oh my God, I finally got it now. That's it. But you know, life will teach you, and that what you got, it will subside and it's gone, and then you're depressed again or sad again, and whatever, and then you know, oh, this is not it. So I had a lot of these moments, you know, but I never talked to anybody about it, and at some point, you know, I gave up, and then whatever happened. But when there was realization, this is what has not changed. You know, this what we are does not change, does not differ, does not go away or come. It is always the same. And the question about a spiritual ego, yes, now in modern times people call it that way, spiritual ego. That would be somebody who's totally identified with spirituality, and people make something out of spirituality. You see, there are people who like to use smudge sticks and smoke, and have an altar of, I don't know, stones and whatnot, and they use to do some rituals, and they totally identify with that, but that is all in the outside world and has actually nothing to do with spirituality. You know, what I've come to know is that the old sages, the rishis, the old wise men, they somehow wrote something down, and these are our scriptures, the old scriptures. And what they write is very, very simple. They say, you are that, you are already that, or you are God, or I am God. And that actually means your I am, your I amness, your knowing of yourself is God itself. And that's it. And probably what happened is that some people did not get that, the simplicity of ourself, of our being, and then they started to give them practices. Well, sit down and meditate, close your eyes, make your breath tranquil, concentrate on whatever, you see, just to keep them quiet, to keep the mind quiet, so that natural realization can come. And then probably people did not get that either, and they made another practice out of it, and another one, and then spirituality was born, which does not exist. Actually, there is no such thing as spirituality. There isn't. There is you, yourself, your true self, and that is very natural, and that is very beautiful. And like I said, it's very peaceful. Peace for me is the greatest indicator for spiritual realization, or realization, if you want to call it that way. Peace. You know, a lot of people say it's love, everything is love, and this and that. When there is no peace, there is no happiness, there is no love, there's nothing. So yeah, The spiritual ego are those people who are identified with spirituality or their spiritual practices. And in the same way that there is the spiritual ego, which if you watch my videos or other videos on that matter, ego is not something that exists. Ego does not exist. There is no such thing as ego. When you are born, you are a totally free being. You are free being. You don't feel disconnected from the world or the mother. You feel one. And then people start to give you a name. They start to tell you how you look, that you're beautiful or you're ugly, or you're good at this or you're good at that. And then you build a story. You make a story out of it and you call yourself a name. But if you ask yourself, what was my experience as a little baby? How would I describe myself as a little baby? I don't know anything of the world. I don't know words. I don't know anything. Now, what is it? The only thing that you can say is, I am, I exist, this. So in the same way, there is a spiritual ego, which we already talked about right now. There is actually no ego, but there could be an ego of a bus driver. There could be the ego of somebody who works in a supermarket. So everybody identifies with something. And in this whole self-realization game, I'll call it a self-realization game. In the end, we even have to drop that idea of I am the self, or I am that. Even that has to be dropped at the end. You know, silence actually is the greatest teacher, and in silence is the greatest truth. But you know, we are on YouTube, so it helps for people to point to that what they are, and nobody can give you self-realization. Nobody can enlighten you. You're on your own with this thing. You know, you can listen to people that when you feel that you resonate with, when you come into a understanding and a peace and a nice happy feeling inside of yourself, and you feel good while you listen to the people when they point to your true nature. And this is the you know, what a teacher would do, or somebody that you know, they would just point to yourself, to your true nature, and then you will see that there is no teacher, there is no student, there is just one being. I have a lot of I have a lot of stories with my teacher, and I might share them on the channel at some point. But he was a very normal man. He used to teach physics, and once a week he used to give his yoga lessons on a Saturday in a big hall, and there would be like 200 to 300 people there every week. And he would always encourage us to practice, and he would, you know, it was always very normal and natural. He did not charge anybody. People could donate for the rent of the big hall, but that's it. And when I had questions, then I would call him on the phone, or sometimes even he would call me. And you know, so people make a big thing out of everything. The truth is within yourself, and nobody can help you in that way. There are people who can point to that. That what you would call a guru is somebody. A guru actually means somebody who leads you from darkness to light. That's it. Nothing more and nothing less. And because that somebody went already on that way, he can see pitfalls and he can see dangers, and then slightly, nudge you, correct you in the direction eventually, and that's it. Okay, guys, I hope it's really cold. I'm today. I'm traveling here. Thank you for watching the video. When we get to 1,000 subscribers, we can also go live and talk live about whatever you want. And yeah, for that, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you have a question or anything that you want to share, then put it in the comments and I'd be happy to see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.